we're back with vocal arrangement. I'm going to share everything I know about arrangement, arranging background vocals, harmonies, counterpoint, ad libs, and really just give you a ton of tools that you can use. And then you get to decide song by song which of these things will help work with that song. And I want you to be creative and try to think outside the box. Can you expand on any of my ideas? So let's jump in. The first thing I want to just point out to you is the lead vocal, you will always want it to be panned center. And the only time I pan the lead vocal a little bit off center is when it's an ad lib. I like to just pan my ad libs a little bit, like almost like you don't even notice it in the mix that it's any more left or right, but just so that those are not fighting for space when I happen to be singing two lead vocals at the same time. So I might pan my ad libs like 8 or 9% to the left and my rap libs a little bit to the right. So if for some reason I'm singing three different things that are intended to be kind of a lead vocal at the same time, we can still hear all of them. But then when it comes to your background vocals, however many stacks of backgrounds you decide to do, I really recommend that you stack things in at least sets of 2. So you have your lead vocal in the center, and then all your background vocals will be panned left and right. So I'm in the center, our supporting roles are left and right. So, as a general rule of how I tend to arrange the song, and this goes for whether your chorus starts first or your verses start first, that's fine. It's just I like that the verses tend to be a little bit lighter and then the choruses tend to be a little bit bigger, right? Um, Again, there's no rules. Good example that goes against this is Dangerously in Love by Beyonce. Her verses are actually the more full section and then the chorus I believe is like way lighter. For the most part, I'm kind of a one trick pony because it works every time. So I tend to write verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus. And maybe there'll be like, you know, a post chorus. There can be little adjustments here and there, but that's my usual go to song structure. I would call that the song structure, but the vocal arrangement is what you add to the lead to support the lead. So this is going to be your doubles, your harmonies, your ad libs. So for the verses, I tend to leave those a little lighter. Uh, I don't really add doubles on the verses, except for maybe a little bit of a highlight of like a maybe like the main concluding 2 words of each line. I might double just those 2 words. A lot of times, actually, I will do nothing in the background on verse 1, but then in verse 2, maybe I'll throw in like a harmony on like just the last line of the verse or something like that, just to give it a little bit more of a build. But I love that the verse is kind of like our space to breathe and feel calm. And then in the pre chorus, that's usually where I add my doubles. And then in the chorus, that's usually where I add my harmonies and counterpoint. And so that's like my basic, what I tend to do. But then each individual song just asks for something else. You'll just know what the song needs. And hey, who knows? Maybe a certain genre or vibe calls for doubling the entire song. That's up to you. That's the songwriter's creative process. So I'm just going to give you my format of what I usually do, but then I always am breaking my own rules, and I hope that you do too, and try out different things and don't be too cookie cutter, but these things do work really, really well. So I highly recommend, especially if you are getting into demo singing and picking up clients. I hate to say it like this because it sounds so cringy, but sometimes I do things like the safer way for the client because I know that these things always work and they'll always be a yes. Whereas sometimes a client might not be so receptive to something that's a little too experimental. So I do kind of err on the safer side when I have client work. Unless I get to know them and in conversation, they're like, no, I like flume. I like fantasy music. Those clients that like are like unleash, like do weird stuff. I love it all. That gets really exciting. So then I'll try some weird stuff there. And I will show you some of my crazy effects a little later in the course. But for now. We're going to jump into my milkshake one more time, and then I promise I won't make you listen to this song again. I just did the pre-chorus and the chorus, and I'm kind of deviating from Khalees's arrangement just so that I can show you more. I'm probably going to throw out all the harmonies because I don't need them. But as you can see, I've kind of doubled everything. So I've got my la 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 las. Let me put my headphones on. So my la 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 la. So my la 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 las are I got my lead vocal. As you can see, it's panned center. This is my pan pot. And this is just how I have my things set up because I don't have the time to name everything like this is the pre-chorus background. I just have A, B, C, etc. So usually I start with the doubles of the lead. La 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 la, which I vocalized and you can kind of hear it. We play that with the lead. La 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 la. Sounds good. And then I add the harmonies down there. This is the chorus, and I wanted to show you a couple of the silly things I do to make it sound even thicker and even cooler. So of course I have my lead vocal, and then I've doubled the lead twice and panned that left and right. And then I've also doubled it in a slightly different tone. And I want you to hear what that sounds like. Actually, I'm going to mute the lead and just show you the background so you can get a sense of what that sounds like.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like.
So this is me kind of singing a little bit more whispery. And then here is.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like.
So that's like the fuller tone, right? So if I just had it like this.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours, damn right.
That's totally fine, but I feel like just adding this higher, like airier, feeling, it just gives it this like more atmospheric touch to it.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours, damn right.
So let me mute that lead.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours.
I just think it adds a little sexiness, to be honest. And then, well, this is rapping. So if you are a rapper, this is a very, very cool technique. And this is actually from Khalees's arrangement. A lot of rappers will do this where they sing their doubles or they rap their doubles in like a slightly different register. Even though we're not rapping notes, we can still pitch our tone higher. So this part.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours, damn.
So yeah, 100% commitment. Let's talk about it. So here is everything without those, and then I want to play it with it, and you can see just how much character it adds.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours, I can teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours, I can teach you, but I have to charge.
So that's just another cool thing to add to your arrangement, and that will work too with your la 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 las. So I did not do that because it's a pre-chorus and I want the chorus to feel bigger. But this la 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 la, I might approach it in maybe a different song. I could do something like la 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 la. And so it just has like a different texture to it. So experiment with different tones on the backgrounds. Another thing I definitely want to point out, this is kind of like something I do mostly in the verses. It's cool to just like, say a couple words. So you're not saying the whole line, but you're just highlighting a couple of the words. So that's something I did here in the chorus. But I wanted to give you one additional tip with that to get your vocals even closer when you're only saying a couple of the words is to actually do the follow through, but only with mouthing. So can you just mouth the first couple words and the next couple words and then only let sound out on those few words? So I'm singing right here.
They're like, it's
just and they're like,
milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours, I can teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake.
I'm rapping almost exactly in the right timing because I have to like close my mouth to get to the next word. Whereas I definitely didn't do that when I recorded
Teach you,
this part where I say charge.
teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake.
Like I held the charge out extra large. I held the charge extra large. That's hilarious. I held the charge too long, but I ended up liking it. That's just a styling option. It's up to you. If you want to, hold out the words at the end, that's totally cool too. I want to talk about this term called gang vocals. Gang vocals is this effect you get when it sounds like you're performing at a bar and like the whole bar is singing along with you. It's like crowd vocals, right? So you're gonna sometimes want to go for that effect, but you're just one person, so you can only go so far with it to make it sound like a crowd if it's only going to be your voice. So I'm going to show you how I approach creating this gang vocal sound. This is a little part I made up along with the milkshake theme.
My milkshake, yeah.
It's a very, very epic milkshake. So obviously I start with what's my lead main voice gonna be?
My milkshake, yeah.
All right, always sounds great when you're belting your brains out, for sure. Double that.
My milkshake, yeah.
So that's the basic. Always just do a basic double of the same tone of the lead. And then you want to start building with more and more stacks of things that sound slightly different. And this does not even have any harmonies. Harmonies definitely will fill it out even more. But I just want to show you with the standard, basically just the main melody and octaves. So next, what did I do? So next I did a low octave.
My milkshake, yeah.
Pretty straightforward. And then next I do similar to before where I just sing a different tone. I'm still singing the main melody, but I'm singing a lot airier in my like falsetto range, which is also known as head voice.
My milkshake, yeah.
Okay, that gives it more texture. And then what's this here?
My milkshake, yeah.
How many octaves can you do? I have 3 octaves going now. And then this is where it starts to get super fun. So this is a tactic. This is a little tactic that I have. It's similar to the formant mode, which I do also do. But instead of just, copying and pasting one of these takes and formanting it down to change the mouth shape, basically this part.
My milkshake, yeah.
It sounds like a formant effect, but it actually isn't. What I did is kind of crazy. So if you see, I muted this part just so I could show you the original. But what I did was actually sang it like a step and a half higher. And then I pitched it down using Wave's sound shifter. So basically, check it out.
My milkshake, yeah.
Like I said, I can be pitchy AF sometimes. So what I did was I sang it 3 semitones higher, and then I pitched it down 3 semitones.
My milkshake, yeah.
And then I actually pitch corrected it so it doesn't sound like that. But yeah, as you can see, this is the result.
My milkshake, yeah.
And if you're using a track, which I did, I'm just singing along to her original, by the way. And I put a low pass filter so I don't have to hear it too well. I just kind of am listening to the tonal center. But I actually then pitched it so that I could sing along with it. To do that, all I did was open up Wave Sound Shifter and I pitched it up and then I sang along with that. Just kind of a sneaky little thing to do just to give a slightly different sound. Okay, so this next one, what I've done is I used this plugin called Little Alter Boy and I did my formant all the way down and my pitch -12. You don't want to just pitch it like some down or it's going to be in the wrong key. Like, yeah, we don't need that. Actually, that was like probably a harmony, but I pitch it all the way down and then go ahead and render it. And together they sound like this. And then my last one is an even deeper one. I just basically process it one more time. Like I copied and pasted this and processed it one more time and it sounds like this. Yo, this milkshake's gonna take over the world. All right, so all together, it sounds like this.
My milkshake, yeah.
And that's massive. So to recap again, we've got the lead vocal,
My milkshake,
2 stacks of the same lead vocal,
my milkshake.
2 stacks of the main lead vocal sang in a different tone, an airier tone,
My milkshake, yeah.
octave lower,
My milkshake, yeah. My milkshake, yeah.
high octave if you can sing it. And then my crazy sing it 3 semitones higher and then pitch it down 3 semitones.
My milkshake, yeah.
And then this one is I sang it regular and then I used Little Alter Boy to formant it down. And then formant it down 1 more octave. Stack to death, baby. This is a tactic I use a lot in trailer music. Back ends, like this, the very ends of the song tend to be like these very victorious, big, epic moments. So, yeah, I do have like this many stacks, and this is just the main melody. This is not even including harmonies. So once you start including harmonies, it can be even more massive. Try that on for size. All right, guys. So let's talk about harmonies. Some of you probably already just have it in your genetics that you can hear harmonies like it's no problem for you. But for some of us, we have to practice at it and we have to really work to build that skill of being able to just hear automatically. This isn't a music theory course, so I'm just going to give you some quick tips, but here are some hints on where you can go to train yourself to get better at training your ears to hear harmonies faster. Oh, I remember when I was 16 and I first had the real freedom of having a car and being able to sing on the top of my lungs in my car, right? And so when I would play songs on the radio, I just started trying to hear if I sang along, but I didn't sing the same notes as this person, is it still in the key and does it sound good? I was training myself to come up with harmonies and I basically made a rule for myself. Like when I'm in the car singing along with the radio, I'm not allowed to sing the melody and see what I come up with. Practicing and practicing. Eventually, I built on it. And at first, I only ever sang a third, a major third above the lead. And then later on, I discovered, oh, like I can sing in fourths, I can sing in fifths, I can sing in sixths. And so I would build from there. But if you're just getting started with harmonies, just starting with the third is plenty to get you practicing and starting to add harmonies. As you saw, like you can do a lot with just stacking the main melody, and you should totally do that. And there's a lot of songs on the radio that have no harmonies. They might even seem like there's a lot going on because there's like counterpoint melodies, but they're not even harmonized. So there's options if you don't feel confident yet with adding harmonies. But until then, I encourage you to practice. So here's a little exercise to help you think about how to find the harmony. And every song is going to be different because you might have a song that's in a minor key. You might have a song that's in like a different mode. And sometimes it just won't work exactly the same way. Like the third just won't sound right. But here's at least a good way to find the major third. And then when you listen to your song, if you try this method and it sounds good, yay. If you try it and it doesn't sound right, just try one more half step and see what you find. So, say the main melody note that you want to harmonize with is la. Okay. So, think of how a scale sounds, right? That would be your scale, right? So, a third is literally just counting to the third scale degree from that. So, la, that's going to be your third harmony. So, practice that. And then, whenever you're, in any keys, pick a different note. Mm, That's a harmony. That's a third from the first note. Basically, all it is to come up with the third is to sing the first note and then sing a couple notes higher. That's it. What tends to work well for me is just whatever the main note is, a third higher, and then a fifth higher, and then an octave higher or an octave lower, just depending on where you are in your range. So to find the fifth is literally just, what do you think? Counting 5 steps. So we started on that. That's my third. What's my fifth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 5. That's my fifth. Sometimes fourths work. Sometimes sixths work. It all depends on the key you're in. Again, if you're in like a different kind of a mode, like minor, all those, I don't even know. I'm not really a theory buff like Dorian, Locrian, etc. Then, just depending on the song, these are either going to sound good or they're not. Be able to discern when a harmony is adding more support to the song or if it's just adding fluff that doesn't really need to be there, because sometimes you can overdo it, so decide if you really feel that it works or not. And over time, you keep practicing, your ears will get better and better, and you won't even need to go da da da. You'll just know that it's da. You'll just hear it, so keep practicing. If you want to try one more really awful sneaky thing, which I totally played with at first when I started recording, I'm going to show you a very sneaky tool that I use when I'm not sure what to do. You can actually generate harmonies using the plugin called Melodyne, which is a tuning plugin that we're going to go very much in depth with next week. I'm so excited to tell you about tuning. It's like my favorite subject. But you can actually use Melodyne to create harmonies. And so I'm going to take you into this other session. So this is a cover for a trailer. So a trailerized version of Attention by Charlie Puth. And I have some cool harmonies I'll show you. But if I didn't know what to do, I would probably just make like a copy of my main one and then solo the main one and the one I'm messing with. And I'll open up Melodyne, and don't worry if you don't know how to use Melodyne yet. Just take this information right now as like me showing you a concept. And then next week, I'm actually going to show you how to use Melodyne. So, but just to show you really quick, a sneaky way of finding harmonies. If I play it right now, it's going to just be 2 of them playing at the same time. So what I'm going to do. So if I drag this up and down, and then I press play, I'm playing this changed note against the regular lead, and I can tell if it's going to sound good or not. So as you can hear, like, it sounded not good for a second, and then I notched it down, and I was like, ooh, that sounded good, right? So I'm going to try a higher one. So there's, okay, here we are at the main note. That sounds okay. So obviously, and then from here, I would definitely not use this I would then just use it as a reference for myself and I would re-sing this part. So that's just a quick sneaky tip on how to use Melodyne to find new harmonies. And you can double it again and find a third harmony from that. So up to you if you want to use this tool. I'm going to put my pitch back to normal. So when it comes to arranging harmonies, one thing I do want to note is that a lot of times if you just add one harmony, I think it kind of can be distracting. I feel like that one harmony tends to take our attention from the lead, and you don't want that. The purpose of the harmony is to be supportive of the lead. Um, in pop music. So I always try at least to have a three-part harmony. So if that lead vocal is the main melody, then I add one more harmony. So now I have two parts, and then I add another harmony. So now I have three parts. So it's technically main melody and two harmonies to come up with a three-part harmony. That will then sound more like a blend, whereas maybe just adding one harmony to the lead might make it sound kind of thin. So always, if you can, try to come up with at least three parts. Okay, now let's talk about counterpoint. Counterpoint is your key to sounding very impressive, and it's not that hard. It just takes focus and just one part at a time. So counterpoint is basically background vocals that do not do the same thing as the lead. This can be as simple as instead of singing along with the lyrics, you can just ride along with the chord progression on an ooh or an ah. It can be little quick ooh ah melodies between phrases. If your lyrics have like a little bit of space between, I love to put little things in the middle. One thing you can do, which I did in this one, I'll just show you as an example, is I might just take one word from the lyric and then hold out on the vowel. So I'll show you what that sounded like in this version of Attention.
You just want attention. You don't want my heart. Ooh, yeah, you just want attention. I know from the start.
So there's some pretty neat things happening here. By the way, trailer music is weird. So obviously this is not a pop cover. And my voice is pitched down a little. It's formatted down a little bit. Yeah, it's cool that I'm just like jumping in randomly on some words and then we're together here. And then at the end, to not take away from the visual so much. Trailer music sometimes there's a lot of dialogue. So if there's too many lyrics, it can just be distracting. So almost like purposely wanted people to not hear the lyrics here. And I sang the lead on an O and then sang the main melody line down the octave.
You're just making sure I never give up.
Kind of neat little touch there. So I came up with this cool little part for Milkshake, not in the original song. Sorry, Khalees, if you're watching. Check it out.
But I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge.
So soloing that, it sounds like
My milkshake brings.
my milkshake bring. So it doesn't need to make sense as long as it sounds cool. And I could say brings because the word brings is what's in the lyric, but I just felt like it wasn't necessary to have like extra S's. And then it always sounds more impressive to add harmonies to that. So sometimes it's really as simple as just like coming up with some ooh or ah that just like moves underneath the lead. And then when you stack it with harmonies, it's like, wow. It's a wow factor. So try that out. Try to do the opposite of what the lead is doing. Try to do more like long, flowy notes if the lead is, this wordy like this one. But if you've got a lead line that's actually more held out long notes, it might be cool to do more like choppy background vocals, like as it's going like, ooh, your backgrounds might be, with stacks of harmonies. Call and response always works awesome. Definitely if you have these spaces in between. Technically, this is like two counterpoint vocals going on. La 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 la. Response, the boys are waiting. That's baked into the lead, but like, let's find out what could be like another counterpoint to this. So if it's like la 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 la. There is like a little bit of space between the la 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 and the boys are waiting. You know, if this was my song, maybe I would add like a little something else in that space. I mean, I think this song is well done and it doesn't need anything else, but an example would be like la 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 la, the boys are waiting, la 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 la. You know, just like all these little things going on. You know, you just got to play with it. You got to see what works. And hey, if you really want to get crazy with it and add like multiple counterpoints, like you can do that too. And at the end of the day, like you might add all these crazy parts and it feels like there's too much going on, but you can always turn all those backgrounds down really quietly in the mix and it does elevate the song without feeling like too much because you turn them way down. You got to just, you know, put on your producer hat and decide, is it too much? Is it helping? Do we need it? And, you know, make your decisions based on your own like songwriting abilities, you know? I do have one very funny thing I wanted to show you. When I want to sing a background vocal super duper high and I can't actually hit it, like it's out of my range, I might actually purposely sing it a little bit under what I want it to be at and then melodyne it up. I would never do that to a lead vocal because then you would hear how fake it sounds. But I've done it before on background vocals, especially when I have a lot of stacks. I feel like I can get away with it. So let's do that in real time right here.
Waiting, la 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 la.
Basically, what I was trying to sing was the high octave of the la 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 la, but I can't actually sing that high. So I just picked a note and I sang it as high as I could at the moment. And then I'm going to open up Melodyne and I am going to fake this octave. Is this not it? Oh, no, it's not. I sound like a goose. Cool. Let's do that on the next one as well. Incredible. Going to teach you how to use Melodyne in the next week, but just made it sound a little bit cleaner. Perfect. Just going to render that in place, and then I am going to copy that over here and check it out.
La 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 la.
Boom. Sounds good in the mix. It definitely won't sound that good if we just solo it, but which I can do for you for fun. Not the best. But if you ever are like, oh, I really, really want that high harmony, but I can't quite hit it, that is an option for sure. So giving you all my sneaky tricks. Last but not least is ad libs. And I love to add ad libs and rap libs when it's appropriate. As a singer, you know how to ad lib. Come on, you just let yourself get lost in the music. I generally add a little something in the intro, you know, yeah, and then the verse comes in. I try not to do too many ad libs until, like, honestly, a lot of times just the last chorus, but maybe I'll come in a little bit on the second chorus. And if I do, I'll try to think about keeping the level of those ad libs in chorus too, not so belted, not so loud. If there's going to be any power, I always love to save it to the last chorus and I'll go, you know, as high as I can. So I added some ad libs here on the chorus.
I can teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge. Whoa.
Ad libs are pretty self-explanatory. Rap libs are going to be simple, non-sung little textures that you barely even notice are there, but they just, you know, they just subtly elevate the song so much. So here are my rap libs. These right here.
La 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 la. Yeah. Warm it up. La 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 la. The boys are waiting. La 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 la. Warm it up. La 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 la. The boys are waiting. Milkshake.
Cool. So yeah, you'll find your style, what works with you. Someone who is a big influence on me with these little rap libs was like Neo, Trey Songz. If you listen to their early songs, Chris Brown, like a lot of the R&B guys, like I swear they record their whole song and then they go, okay, it's time for a rap lib track. And they'll literally just press record from the beginning, and throughout the whole song, they'll just, yeah. Oh, just little details. They add so much. So give it a try if you're into the rap libs. All right. So that's pretty much my approach to vocal arrangement, how I add all that extra seasoning to my song. So try some of these things on. Again, you're the songwriter. Listen, see what sounds good. Does it fit your song? Does it elevate the song? Does it sound like too much? Is it necessary? You decide. For this week, for homework, add some arrangement to your song, add some harmonies, add some rap libs, even if it's a folk song. Give it a try. Try it out. It's all about testing the waters and seeing what works and what doesn't. It's all good data points. Have fun with it. And I will see you next week when we talk about tuning. Yee! I'll see you there.